My name is Masi Munene. I am the CEO and founder of Shamba Connect. We are based in Nairobi, but we travel all over the country. Currently, we're in Nairobi, in Kenya. All right, what we do here is we do urban farming. You see, like in Nairobi, we have very small spaces. So you have, we have a place where you can be able to grow your urban garden. We have organic vegetables. You're able to access your vegetables in a small space. We also have rabbit farming, where we are able to use the rabbit byproducts to support the urban farming. And then we also propagate seedlings. And this helps us to support our clients. All right, in a small space, you're able to keep many things. And that's what we did after experimenting with our little space. So in this small space, you're able to find chicken that we use the waste from the kitchen to feed them, and they give us chicken. So we eat chicken, we have rabbits, so we eat meat from the rabbits. So basically what you're doing here is circular economy. We use the byproducts of one process to be the inputs of the other process. For example, with the urine and the manure from the rabbits, that's what we use in the farm. And that's why our farm is very healthy. In an urban farm, there are many things you can be able to find. In fact, you can find all manner of vegetables. We have foodscaping, we have landscaping, we have onions, we have herbs, we have fruits and vegetables. I started Shamba Connect because I used to have issues with iron in my body. So I used to use a lot of supplements, but then it was not sustainable because anytime I would have the cost of supplements was quite high. And so what I discovered, or what my friend told me, that I could try and grow my own vegetables to be able to access fresh vegetables and therefore iron from the food. And this is because you come to most African countries, in Kenya, in Nairobi, you find that where we are getting our food from is quite far. And the process of growing it and handling it, by the time it comes to the table, it has lost most of the nutrients. And so I came up with the idea of how about if I grow my own vegetables, so I can actually monitor how much pesticides, how much chemicals I'm using on the food to be able to ensure that my food has nutrients. And when I started that, it gave me a lot of psych, because after that I was able to restore my blood level. And beyond that, I've been able to donate blood. I have done this project in many homes in Nairobi and outside of Nairobi also. And so I have seen the process, and many people have come back because they have seen the results from using the organic food. In these small spaces, you find that the cost of land is quite high, and also the cost of food. So I left my banking job. As I was doing this on the side, I got a lot of demand, and that's why I decided to leave my banking job and focus on this. And so this has helped us as a family. We have helped our neighbors with food because we're able to grow it in our small spaces. And also now we do it commercially. We have done quite a number of projects with schools, with individuals, with estates. So you'll find us everywhere within Nairobi and in the peripheries of Nairobi. Many of our clients start urban farming because of, first of all, it's a source of food. You find that the cost of food has gone quite high right now, and you find that if you're able to grow your food, you're able to supplement your budget. And for many people, it has been a source of joy. Once you see the tomatoes you have grown are the ones which you're going to eat today. So for children, for old people, for young people, it has been very advantageous. You also find that in an urban garden, you're able to make some income, get employment even for people. And so it helps you to create employment and also get employment for yourself in case you're self-employed. And then thirdly, it helps you to get a place to relax. Many people report being relaxed and having a good time, especially when they go to the urban farm, they touch the soil, they see the different things involved there. And so it gives someone a very good place to relax and to have a good place. And then also we have developed a community of urban farmers. So we are basically doing barter trading. You find that I have grown a lot of spinach and you have a lot of potatoes. So we just exchange. And it creates a good community where we can actually advise one another. If I have this challenge, I'm able to advise you and you can also advise me.
Okay, great. Like if you study enough, you will get like something like that.
Okay. We do a lot of research, and if you want to start planting, I think one of the things you need to do is to research from your neighbors, see what is surviving there, what is thriving in their space, because most of the time the climatic conditions and the other conditions would be the same as your place. So also, we like to use kitchen waste like eggshells. We put them at the base of the plant. It helps to add calcium to the soil as well as prevent snails from attacking your plants. All right, for someone who's starting a farm, you need to have the substrate or where you're going to grow your plants in. It needs to be somewhere, land or soil that is healthy. And in case your soil is not healthy enough, and that means it does not have nutrients, maybe it has been used for buildings or it has been contaminated by other things, you can restore the state of the soil by putting some additives to the soil to make it work. We need to add nutrients to the soil, and how we do that is you can use manure, that is animal waste, you can use plant waste, even kitchen waste, which makes very healthy compost. We also add rabbit urine because it has a lot of nitrogen. So it helps the soil to be very healthy, and then now we plant the seeds or the seedlings. We prefer to propagate seedlings because the growth becomes faster when you transplant it from the seedling place to the soil, and that makes them grow healthier and faster. So to prevent diseases, there are methods that we use to prevent diseases. Like for tomatoes, for cabbages, there's a spray program. So at certain intervals of growth, we spray them, and we spray them with organic inputs so that they're able to grow well. When you're planting different vegetables, we normally suggest and advise that you need to plant vegetables which are different from one another because of pest control, and also because if they use the same nutrients from the soil, it becomes a little bit hard because they start competing very early. Therefore, for example, when you're planting vegetables, we advise people to put herbs in between because they use a different set of nutrients, and also things like nitrogen-fixing plants like beans, they return nitrogen back to the soil. So the spacing depends on the kind of plant that you're growing, but most vegetable plants would require like a distance of 1 inch from one another. So what we do is that whenever we go to someone's place, we do it in 3 steps. The first step is a site visit. We can either do a physical or a virtual site visit. That helps us to see where is the sun coming from, how is the wind, how is the topography of the place. And you do not need a big space. A small space as possible, and you're able to come up with something unique and customized for your space. We have done wall projects where we have planted fruits, strawberries, passion fruits along the wall. We have done balconies and patios. So depending on whatever space that you have, we are able to design a garden for you. All right, when you're starting the project by yourself, it can be very challenging, simply because there are issues that affect the growth of plants, like the climate, the amount of sun that hits your garden, and also the source of water. So one of the things that I always advise our clients to do is to seek for information. Call us and other people who are in the agriculture space, and they'll be happy to advise you and work with you on the journey. Along the way, the plants get a lot of pests and diseases. So we look for ways, innovative ways, to take care of the pests and the diseases. When I was doing urban farming, because we do organic farming, we needed to have a way to support the organic farming project. And we looked for different additives to add to the food that we grow, and we found that most of the items were very expensive. So we got into rabbit farming because we wanted the byproducts specifically to use in our urban farming. And when we started, we had very few. Rabbits are very prolific in nature. They give birth many times in a year. And therefore, when I did my mathematics, I decided to get into rabbit farming because it supports our urban farming. In one little space, we have been able to create projects for people that have both a rabbit unit and chicken unit, and now the vegetables. So the byproducts of one of the rabbits is what we use in the urban kitchens. And so this has been very fulfilling. They use very minimal space. You have seen, like, in that big space in that little space we have many rabbits. And so that's why we are able to continue with the rabbit farming. With rabbit farming, you have all the benefits you can ever think about. First of all, they give us a lot of byproducts. The rabbit urine is what we use as organic pesticides for our plants. The rabbit manure is what we add into the soil to make the soil healthy. And then also you find that with the rabbits, we eat the rabbit meat. It's very healthy. It has a very high vitamin D content, and the protein content is very good and soft. And it's what doctors recommend, especially if someone is having allergies to other proteins. So you also find that with rabbits, it has very low cholesterol as compared to other meats. And then secondly, you also find that with rabbit farming, we use also the byproducts of rabbit farming, like the skin of the rabbits, to make shoes for the house. And this is very useful, especially with the cold weather. We use the skin for the carpets in the house, for the shoes in the house, and small items like purses and bags. And then also with rabbit farming, young people with as little money as possible can be able to engage in it. It is not capital intensive like other animals. They don't make noise, so the neighbors will not complain also. I would like to challenge everyone to grow plants in their spaces, however small it is. They can survive on the walls, they can survive on the pastures, they can survive on any space. And this is because plants normally absorb the carbon dioxide that is released by our being alive, and they add value to the soil. So it also creates an environment where we also enjoy the freshness of fresh air, because they produce oxygen for all of us to use. So if you planted some plants in your space, I plant some in my space, he and she grows plants in their spaces, it means that slowly our environment is going to be better, because now we are able to get better environment, we have fresh air, and it helps.